Hi everyone. So, this is my first ever reading. I mean, online. I did a bunch of readings before. I've never felt a pull to make like a collective reading, but this is a collective reading for all the deep souls, the lost souls who never had a feeling of belonging to anything, or maybe like outcasts or any other deep souls who feel everything very deep, but they never get into these frames of like positive thinking and everything what is the leading agenda in spiritual world today. And we're not trying to fit into those boxes, right? We're expanding the boxes, and deep souls who feel all the time sad and artistic and deep also deserve their happiness, even by being sad all the time, because that's also normal. So let's dive into this reading, and I will start to read. Let me just switch my hands. Okay, so let's see. First of all, I want to say that this card, the Fool, whoops, it's better to do like this. First of all, I want to say that the card, the Fool, is the card of the reading because it flew out, and as I read the cards, it means that this is the card of the reading. So let's look into... Also, I do intuitive reading, so I do not care about the name of the cards. I completely ignore them. You will understand it now. So let's dive into here. We deal with a lot of subconscious, and I can see already it is the state of being, like, of course we have here a hanged man, but at the same time we have here a Nine of Wands, and as I read it, there is something in our subconscious, in the collective subconscious, which makes you basically feeling of hanging in the air, but you also not you feel it, but you have like a strong pull deep inside that you have to cut cords, that you have to clean and purge something out of your life, but like you have that physical basically presence in your body that you have to do it, you have to cut something, but internally that makes you hanging in the air basically, and that what stops you from, I would say that stops you from I wouldn't say getting your abundance like economically, I mean money wise, but yeah, it stops you basically from getting into your full potential. It doesn't mean necessarily economical, though it kind of hints to that. So let's see here what we have on top. Let me just hold it differently. Okay, just like this, like that, and like this. So, what's about our inner conflict? Suppressed emotions, not being able to express yourself fully, and not being able to express your very strong emotions. I would even say passion, some suppressed passion, definitely. I even see a passion in the art form. Like some of you in the collective is suppressing your feelings which are meant to be expressed in the art form, but because you suppress them for maybe so long, or you think that they are so dark and deep, that they kind of, like if you can see here, this thingy with many legs, I mean this centipede, right? So it's like a feeling of you having like a dark, deep, maybe like shameful, connected with passion, wants, ideas, or I don't know, kinks, something which you suppress by yourself, of course, because of different pressure, society, and so on, and blah blah blah. But anyway, it only creeps out like a little centipede. So like you finding outlet for that deep suppressed passion in some small ways in your life, but because it's so deeply suppressed, you're blocking an art channel for yourself. So that's about it. What else? Let's see. I have the world here. Basically, again, like here I'm paying attention to this skull, like, you know, your true actual essence with a lot of different masks on top of masks on top of masks. Like basically all the different identities society like put on you or you put on yourself in order to survive all this time, you know, like it all getting pressured out of you. And basically also this picture of the world and the death on it shows you that this is the time to set yourself free of those false identities of everything what's not you are, and to start expressing your passion. And for a lot of you it is connected with art form. And the last card about this inner conflict is basically you looking at yourself and feeling hollow or like empty or dead inside, but you're not empty and you're not hollow. You have this crazy passion inside of you which can be expressed in many beautiful, in a lot of ways, art forms inside of you. So you have this incredible depth, and more likely you know about yourself. Is just you have an illusion, like you seeing this as something shameful. You have this illusion over like this girl, she's looking in her reflection, but she doesn't see her actual reflection, right? She sees just the hollow kind of illusion of self, and that's how you perceive yourself because of this illusion of shame, which is suppressing some of your passions and kinky stuff, because none of it is shameful, guys. Anyway, so let's move on to the second part. So this is the second part, and again I'm reading cards as they flew out, and because this is my first ever channeling, I do not have this holder. I forgot how it's called for an iPhone. I will get it though. So anyway, this part is about your mental state to whatever collective I'm speaking to. It could be just like a couple of souls. I do feel a good amount of people though. So anyway, let's, again, we have a mess in our head right now, like not because of this inner deep conflict, which probably like deep seated for years or decades of your life. We have right now like unclear mental state, like you're not sure what to do or what to start. I can see you even having some steady job, I would say, which pay the bills, but it doesn't give anything for the soul, basically. Well, because you suppress your soul part. What else we see here? You feel like you're done. I mean, not like you feel, you think, right? We're talking about the mental part now. You think that you're done with love, that you tried so many times. It always brought you some heartbreaks and a lot of hurt. And you kind of feel, you kind of guard yourself. You probably have a lot of walls you built by yourself to protect yourself. And this is totally normal in life to do, of course. But again, it's waiting on you. These mental blocks you have. And again, I completely understand why you have them. But that's what I see currently for your situation. You feel like celebration and all the happiness is passing, like passing by you, like people around, and maybe online, or maybe if you're watching some tarot readings, you don't feel quite connected because all of them celebrating positive stuff in life, and always the narrative is that we should not feel negative, we should not feel negative emotions, and so on and so forth, and focus on happiness and every day maintain happiness. But fuck me, if we have this deep seated, suppressed, repressed down stuff, it's very fucking hard to feel positive every day, and a minor little setback can just like throw us off our game, right? So yeah, no shit, you don't feel connected to all that celebration and happiness which is going around you. And to be honest, you're not like not you're not supposed to, but you don't have to. You don't have to follow the main path, you know. You can be that one fish who goes against the flow and still fucking get everything, you know. Like imagine you're a soul who came to this world to show the beauty of grief, of the beauty of even loneliness, the beauty of sadness, right? All of those emotions, they are very profoundly, deeply beautiful. We're supposed to feel them, and that's absolutely normal. And if your soul is just like always longing for some sadness and drama and all of that, to cut it all off and to stay happy, to manifest some shit, well, it doesn't worth it, because you just like, you know, cut your own wings. Why? I believe that we can maintain our frequency clean, right? Like clear, transmitting clear yourself without lying to yourself, and without being constantly always fucking happy, because that's ridiculous. You know, we all here came to show different parts of reality and of the experience. So if you're meant to be sad and you're finding something in it for yourself, like maybe some inspiration or something like that, then be yourself. Don't go with the flow. So we digressed here. Let's come back. Yeah, basically that's what I've been talking before, which I already forgot. Anyway, you feel exhausted. You feel like you're losing your strength every time something else is happening, because it's weighing down on you, and you want to give up, basically. Or mentally, maybe you feel like you checked out already and ready to leave, and kind of that's also giving you a relief, which is beautiful, which we should aim for. You know, we should aim for let go and going away from anything but weighting us down. If being like fake happy weighting us down, fuck it, let's be sad and transmit beautiful, clear, ideal sadness, from which, like, I don't know, other people can get inspiration, you can get inspiration, and create amazing, beautiful art. Because all beautiful art is always created from pain, not from happiness and full stomach, right? So let's see next. This is very interesting. This is basically, well, mentally, you actually have a lot of resources. Not only mentally, of course, you have, yeah, that's why I'm saying this is like for very, very deep souls who sees everything profoundly and feels everything profoundly deep, because you have so many different talents and you have so many different knowledge and resources just inside of you. Like, you are amazingly beautiful inside, and the only thing what like not stops but like prevents you from transmitting it to the world is that old mechanism, you know, of surviving, and you repressing yourself. Like, be kink and free, basically. Sorry. Yes, again, going back to yourself, you know, kind of like locking yourself in this feeling that you cannot share it. You know, I really think that modern crazy obsession with happiness is stopping a lot of people, especially in spiritual world, stopping a lot of people from just being who they are. You know, we don't need to always be happy. Let's enjoy other emotions and express them freely, you know? So yeah, mentally you don't feel like you can be supported by someone because no one. So mentally also that creates kind of a feeling before the storm, the tension, of course, because it's very hard to hold all of this inside yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally. So that's why it creates that tension, the tension in your head, and maybe like in your chest. You feel like you cannot fully breathe in. Maybe you have actually some problems with like take deep breaths in. Yeah, also, well, it also fell down like that. So that's the Chariot. I'll read it intuitively as I do with all my cards. So mentally, this tension doesn't let you to celebrate even your small wins, which you have, and probably you have a lot of wins even at your job or family or whatever in your other life. That tension prevents you from celebrating it and even looking at some positive things as to things to celebrate, because they seems just meaningless because of all that tension. And the tension create that feeling of importancy, because as we know from psychology, our brain wants to resolve any dissonance and any conflict which it has in the brain immediately. Because when we keep that dissonance, we feel an actual, like our brain feel actual pain, actual tension, and it wants to resolve, it wants to stop feeling pain, so it wants to resolve the conflict immediately. But because you cannot resolve all this deep stuff immediately, you just carry tension, which adds stress and spikes your cortisol level up, right? You feel even more stressed, and in that state it's very hard to see any small winnings and celebrate them. And in that state, of course, very hard to go on with this fake happiness and manifesting shit. All right, from this side, yeah, again, inner child is also suppressed and not expressed, and that also what stops you from new beginnings. Together it all makes sense, right? And we have, oh, we have two more cards here. Actually, let me put this aside. The Magician upside down. So usually this card I read as like the universe shows that all the answers you knew before, and like laughing at you or something like that, like in a joke kind of way, jokey way. But because this is upside down, basically it, in my reading, it signifies how deeply runs this suppression inside of you, and that you weren't able before to see it because it was so deep, and it took so many years for you to build the walls and to protect yourself and to build this mechanism of survival. So you weren't able before to see that inside of you. Like, so universe basically like pat you on the shoulder, like, poor you, you know, which is much better than when it's laughing at you. I mean, at least for this reading. And this, yeah, kind of like you were very careful all your life with whom you're letting in your life and to whom you give your heart. And also you were very careful with your money, I see. And also like you basically were limiting yourself and like calculating how much freedom you can give to yourself to express yourself in order to preserve and save yourself in this wild, cruel world. So that has been the message so far. I have beautiful weird paintings. I guess if someone will find it helpful, well, let's build some relationship together. I mean, not relationship, but some community. And I will see you with the next message. And has been a divine decadence with you. Bye.